The average price of a new car is around $35,000. If that's a sticker shock to your bank account, there are better buys. The pros at Kelley Blue Book found the 10 coolest cars that are under $18,000. Are you kidding us? Joining us now is Micah Muzio, managing editor of video for KBB.com. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And no, we are not kidding you. You can absolutely buy some really cool cars under $18,000. And I am in a studio in Los Angeles with some really good examples. In fact, you know, one of the cars that has been on our list for as long as it has existed, which is 14 years of Mazda 3. The Mazda 3 is just a perennial favorite, and a lot of that comes down to driving feel, which is a little bit hard to convey in a TV environment, but trust me, if you get behind the wheel, you're going to find that the steering response and the handling dynamics are the kind of thing you would find in a much more expensive sports sedan. Mazda does a great job infusing fun into an otherwise very economical and reasonably priced compact sedan.
What other cars are on your hot list?
Yeah, let's burn through a few others. To my immediate left, your right, is the Jeep Renegade. And I don't know if you know or spent much time with the Jeep Renegade or know anything about it, but it's basically Jeep's entry-level vehicle. And what's great about the Jeep Renegade is that it is rugged. It's the kind of Jeep you can actually take the thing off-road, and it's got a small form factor, which means you can kind of like squeeze between boulders and between trees and do some real off-roading with it. And yet, in an urban environment, it still has, that form factor allows you to park in tight spots, and there's still a fair amount of like interior space. You know, you can throw like gear in for whatever active lifestyle activities you might have. So it's functional. It also sits up a little higher, so you have a commanding view of the road. But it just looks cool and it's cool to drive. So a lot of coolness wrapped up in a very small package here. But let's say you've got you're maybe a little bit sportier in nature. The Toyota Corolla IM is a lot of fun to drive, and it's got a hatchback form factor, which means it's the kind of car that you can throw some friends in, throw some gear in, and go have fun on the weekend. But when we're talking about cool cars, we're not just thinking about cool to drive and cool to look at. We're also thinking about cool to buy and own. And what Toyota's done with the Corolla IM is really interesting. They basically sell one version of it, and that version is really well equipped. So a ton of great equipment, and like for example, under $18,000 mark, that based on the Kelley Blue Book fair purchase price, you can get a Corolla IM with lane departure warning, automatic pre-collision braking, dual zone automatic climate control, 8 airbags. That's the kind of stuff that is typically extra in other cars, and it just comes in that single price for the Corolla IM.
It's sounding like these are cars that are a bargain, but also have high-tech features.
Absolutely, and to be clear, you can option up any of these cars to over that $18,000 mark. But even under $18,000 for the Corolla IM comes with an infotainment system. Same thing with the Mazda 3, a really nice infotainment system, a great stereo, the previously mentioned safety equipment on the Corolla IM. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that, again, you would typically have to pay extra for, or a few years ago, it might not even be available on cars this price. And now, like, if you want it, you can have it.
While we have you here, I am a huge fan of using Kelley Blue Book to get a deal. So what's the best way to work all the angles that KBB.com has to offer?
Yeah, Kelley Blue Book is a really powerful resource for two key reasons. One, when you want to buy a car, whether it's new or used, you can use Kelley Blue Book as a baseline to get a sense of what other people are paying for that car. It would be using our price advisor tool, so giving the fair market range. That'll give you a target. Okay, I want to buy a Jeep Renegade. How much should I aim for when I'm negotiating? And we can, based on real transaction data, kind of tell you this is what people are paying for the Jeep. And so you can feel really good about the deal you get. And then the other thing is there are cars that you may not know exist. People don't buy cars every day. They don't drive new cars every day like I do. Every 3 to 5 years, they're going to go to the dealership and buy a new one. So they may not know that the Toyota Corolla IM exists. They may not have driven the Mazda 3. They may not know that the Jeep Renegade is an inexpensive Jeep that can get you into the Jeep brand. So using KBB as a resource to find out what's available, especially like our cars under $18,000 that are cool, that's a really great way to know what's out there.
Thank you for that insider's look, Micah. We appreciate your being here.
Thanks for having me. My pleasure.